Today's episode is all about fashion. The jewelry and fabrics of the Maharaja time period were so impactful and created such an influence on today's fashion. Why don't we go check it out and see where it all got started? Hi Qamar, how are you? Thanks so much. Well, I am standing here with Qamar, who is the curator for the Asian Art Museum and this beautiful exhibit, the Maharaja. I cannot wait to go and take a look at this wonderful exhibit.
I'm so glad you're here, and let's get started.
Wow, Qamar, this is a gorgeous piece. Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
So this is a portrait of Maharaja Amar Singh of Mewar, whose capital was in the city of Udaipur in Rajasthan. And it's a very impressive portrait, a standing portrait of an emperor and a Maharaja, that's what the Mewar rulers were called. And what we see here is the image of a very splendidly dressed ruler. And while he's wearing a fairly simple garment, something like the robe that we have on view across. He is embellished with fine jewelry in his turban, necklaces that he's wearing, a very beautiful gold brocaded sash around his waist, jewelry of other types around his wrists and all of that. So this together creates a wonderful image of the Maharaja as a splendid being and a splendid individual.
Wow, okay, this is absolutely gorgeous. I just love all of the colors. This is the turban ornament, correct?
That's right. So we saw an example of this feather-shaped turban ornament in the turban of Maharaja Amar Singh in the portrait outside. And these turban ornaments were one of the immediate markers of royal status. And for a considerable amount of time, it was the privilege only of a ruler. At a later point, over time, they were also given to favored noblemen and other important officials as a symbolic gift.
This piece right here is absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't it beautiful?
Wow.
It was made for Princess Ezra of Hyderabad. It's typically Hyderabadi woman's outfit. And speaking of craftsmanship and quality, this is over 100 years old, but it's never been polished. It's the materials and the quality of gold is just so wonderful. It's retained its appearance.
Yes, and I have to say, something like this looks like, I can only imagine the weight, of this piece. The bride, clearly there was no, first dance for her, I guess.
I would have wanted the ceremony to be over really quickly because it is very heavy. As we were installing this, it took about 6 people to lift the dupatta over the mannequin. They were being careful, they had to be careful, but still, it was that heavy.
Talk about a diamond or a girl's best friend. I think I just found a best friend.
Nearly 3,000 diamonds in this necklace, with almost 1,000 carat weight of them all. So it's really, yes, enormous, stunning.
Yes.
And Maharaja Bhupinder Singh of Patiala, who ordered this, as well as a number of other magnificent jeweled pieces, taking trunks full of his family jewels to Paris. But this necklace also has another later history that is quite touching and moving in a way, because it showed up on the market. It was found in an antique store in Europe with no stones, only the platinum settings.
Oh, wow.
And a jewelry historian recognized it, and Cartier bought it. And based on all their very extensive record-keeping and archival documents that they had, they were able to reconstruct the original necklace to its form.
So, Qamar, thank you again for taking us on this wonderful journey through the Maharaja. I surely enjoyed it and learned a lot.
It was my pleasure.
It was fantastic, and we're actually going to now go see Amrita Singh, who has taken a lot of the influences from this time period. I'm excited to see her jewelry.
Andaaz, brought to you in part by Basic Ayurveda, your source for Ayurvedic juices. Hosts prefer to use Kinjini natural beauty products. Borrow it bindas. Why buy when you can rent your perfect designer outfit? Andaaz hosts prefer to use Lawson Travel for all their fabulous destinations. The law offices of Sharon Tower.